Well, this is for a magazine. We all stand together, and I have to introduce the Quarrymen.
Hello.
And
Hello, how are you?
one by one, this is Mr. Pete Shotton,
Hello.
Mr. Len Gary,
Hello.
Mr. Eric Griffiths,
Hello.
Mr. Colin Hanton,
Hi.
and Mr. Rod Davis,
Hi.
who made this all possible for me, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Well, maybe I can heckle you and ask you, just tell me a little bit about what you guys do.
Very little.
As little as possible.
As you've noticed tonight, very little. Well, we try to enjoy ourselves, really. We don't really, although we're acknowledged as being great musicians, we try to play it down a bit because we like to recreate the basic skiffle that we used to play. So, although we're all very
read music.
What's the word? What's the word? Right. We're very very professional musicians. What we actually do is we lower it back to when we were at school, right?
Leave the rough edges then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Add a few rough edges.
just to give the authenticity to it, really.
Right. Well,
If you believe that, you believe anything. He had a straight face then. I thought he believed it.
oh, for a moment he did.
Convinced me.
Hey, we've got the right one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can...
Next serious question.
Yeah, talk about John Lennon,
All the best.
if you would.
It's gone quiet, isn't it?
Talk about
what do you want to know then, Mike?
How
How long have you got? You got a week or two? Right, okay.
Say that with a serious face.
Talk about John Lennon. I suppose the best way to really describe it, everybody, that is the question that is asked more than anything else. The question, what was John Lennon like? Okay, what was he like? He's a bastard, he was. Right. No, what was John Lennon like? You see, I was discussing this with my friends here.
Which ones are they, Pete?
I don't know, I haven't got it. They've all left now. But basically, if you think about your friends when you were a kid, you don't analyse your friends and give ticks for their qualities and crosses for their things and then decide whether they're going to be your friend. Either they're your friend or you're not. And we never analysed John Lennon until people asked us to analyse him. And then, when people asked me to analyse him, I thought, I can't analyse him, I don't know, right? He was just our friend, you know? If you know what I mean. I hate that expression, don't you?
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. I hate that expression. But basically,
But we know what you mean.
you don't make friends on the good points or the bad points or whatever it is. You don't analyse someone and say he's going to be my friend. You either click chemistry-wise or you don't click chemistry-wise. And to try and, I mean, yes, he was a bastard actually, that was the real thing. But he was lovely too. He was lovely, right? And I'm a bastard, but I'm lovely. I'm not. You know.
No, you're just a bastard.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. There's nothing nice about me at all, actually, yeah. Yeah, that's why he liked me, really. He liked me because I was a bigger bastard than he was.
Can you say bastard on American TV?
Are you going to edit this, are you?
No.
Down to 2 minutes.
Well, you probably cut me right out from it.
No,
Next
no,
question.
no, I won't. Okay, Len, I'll ask you about your book that you wrote.
Oh, yeah. Well, it took 3 months for me to write, yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, so when you had your butt back?
No, there was a lot of books about, factual books about dates and blah, blah, blah. And I thought I would do a book about atmosphere, try and recreate all the trouble we had in the Quarrymen days about getting the tea chest on the bus and Teddy boys and the lot. And
Actually, atmosphere is the key word.
That was the idea behind it.
Get the feel of it.
It's amazing, actually, because he made it all up. All the conversations were made up, right? Okay. But they reflected perfectly the atmosphere of the friendship that we all had together. Nobody can remember word for word what was spoken 40 years ago, but somehow, what's your name? Somehow Len created the. I read the book, and I was astounded because it had the exact feel and atmosphere of how we were as friends. And it was a brilliant book from that, although it was wise.
Are you working in?
And the spelling was good as well.
Institute.
Institute.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric.
Eric.
That's me, yeah.
You
That's me.
used to play banjo chords, I understand. And
That's right.
Paul came along, and maybe you can tell what happened.
Well, when Paul came along, John and I were still playing banjo chords, and it still carried on for a while, but I think John felt, well, we've got to play the guitar the real way, so he learned the guitar chords, and I had to follow suit because I had to watch him, what he was doing when he was playing, so, I couldn't carry on playing banjo chords, could I? So I had to learn. And I still think I'm learning.
We don't know what chord you play. It's a total mystery to us.
Well, it is to me, so. What's the problem?
One of his strings broke and he didn't find out for 5 weeks.